Welcome to our lovely IHP paid and free subscriber community. We have been chit-chatting today about how post-healing is when you are going to benefit and actually use any of spiritual toolkits, guidance, self-help, personal development. I didn't realize how many people needed this type of announcement, but since it did get spotlighted, let me read to you what I shared with a person who actually thinks that we are not able to be consistently in a good relationship with emotions while we do yoga and spirituality, self-help, personal development. Okay, so you will understand if you're attachment trauma educated or if you're a self-led person who's securely attached, non-traumatized, right here, 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age, what I'm about to say. Because you're also going to be grounded in reality is really what I am going to say, which is why I didn't think I had to make sure to announce things in certain ways, which I will instead. So healing of any type when it comes to a human being, it is done at a good therapist's office. And that is a person who knows about the importance of EMDR, bilateral, vertical, overall integration, child parts work, and sensory motor, which is why body, mind, heart. You don't ignore your energy levels, your thought process, any of that. Okay, so when someone's telling you they're a mystic, a spiritual person, but they don't know how to unconsciously love human beings with their flaws and imperfections, sure you are. Obviously, you don't know how to be a emotionally mature person with your nervous system. The emotional maturity comes when you own your sense of self, implicit, explicit memory. So you own all of that, which are charges, which is why we are securely attached, non-traumatized, self-led. So for us, emotions are not suffering. We don't use our temporal junction. Who's we? The 5D mystic, spiritual, mindful, living, loving, paid and free subscriber community at IHP for sure, or this person right here. And when I see memes, they're funny and stupid at the same time because somebody's saying, again, what they tell you healing is, and they're showing you a bunch of bullshit, the fake people, who also get in their angry buttholes and crap on humanity with Lucifer's name, demons, energy vampires. Anyone? Okay, so it's very easy to see when someone has a story versus the data, which is you must not have a body in connection, which means you don't know your own nervous system. So neuroception, Dr. Amy Apijan, I mentioned her. So when people are liars to a securely attached, healthy self-worth woman who's a mystic, it's because I'll notice your nervous system. And when someone's actually doing a lot of shit, I'll notice. So I won't be telling them about that because it's not my business to say, hey, you got some child parts going on. That's only for the martyr superiors and the blamers. Those are codependent people who also need therapy. But again, we don't need to point them out. I make fun of them, and that's with stories of Cusco and, Ice Age Diego's family. So when someone is going to actually think that any of their spiritual stuff is because they're anointed and special versus it's your human makeup, because we all can tap into the sphere of Akash, consciousness, intelligence, if you come at it from the spiritual perspective. Science talks about dark matter, dark energy in the sphere of consciousness too. So any grounded in reality intellectual will be able to have a good time at IHP because we love to learn, live, laugh, have fun, and Akashic record readings are amazing as well. Okay, so once you've healed, now we can do yoga, retreats, and all the spiritual stuff will benefit your well-being because you have actual well-being, because your body is in a body that's connected, ventral vagal state, okay? And so at that point, spiritual growth and personal development is going to consistently expand. You're expanding because your sense of self is whole. So you're expanding as a self-led, securely attached, non-traumatized person. And that's living a restorative, embodied, self-aware, accountable, and regulating life, which is why the retreats and spiritual lifestyle choices, you're going to be making the best out of all of it because you know how to navigate from your eustress. You live in a high frequency because you can use your prefrontal cortex when you get sad, when you get mad, when you get afraid. So like the panic attacks, they are the part of the expansion of the light body that was the toughest for me, but it's because panic attacks, anyone? But that's it. And so, twin flame. I got 3 twin flames and I got soulmates. Again, not torture chamber. There's no dark night of soul, ego death. There's no need for subliminal messages. There's an active way that you'll be able to be consistently expanding. That's what guidance, mentorship, toolkit, the mindset, all of this stuff supports people who are moving through sensations, images, behaviors, affects, and meanings. As Peter Levine says, once you can contain it. So with mindfulness practices, you're self-aware, accountable, and regulating because you are able to sit in the darkness of your right mode of the brain. That's your emotional part or trauma, but it's not traumatized for us because trauma charges, we process them. So anger, sadness, fear. Okay, so with the self-awareness and the accountability, we are healed because we can use our ventral vagal state. We're using our embodied brain. It's an integrated brain. We are body-mind harmony focused. And so self-awareness, emotions, vulnerability, relationships, our life, and what we bring forth each day is something we take seriously into heart. And so we are making sure that we can live well-being. Okay, you don't use the spiritual toolkit to achieve well-being. You first achieve well-being because you have this sense of self that's owned, the body and connection. And so you own the mind and body, brain. And that's where the confusion might be for those who don't understand that if they're suffering still with any emotion, I just want a world that isn't about what feels right, what is right. That's a nervous system that's really upset. I want to give them a hug, but I won't because they're a cynic who's in a survival mode who thinks that being able to just cry because you get emotional is propaganda. I can cry pretty often. And that's because it's for release. You get heart touched. Or sometimes sad. It's okay. Vulnerability is cool. I mean, it's not scary because who's going to betray you again? Come again? So when people watch their back all the time, their faith in humanity was broken. That's unfortunate business. But that's not for us to do anything about. So it's because of choosing not to live life with unhealthy self-soothing mechanisms and patterns of behaviors that are the projection of trauma and the adaptive child part who is emotionally unavailable and immature and still afraid to be authentic and vulnerable. Okay, so it's because we choose not to live this half life that instead somebody who is envious, jealous, spiteful, cynic is still living. They just don't believe in the modern day therapist's explanation because they don't believe they're living structural dissociation. While I can totally tell their 8-year-old needs a hug, but that 16-year-old is very upset and spiting their own home. And so with their trauma charges, like teenagers, I saw them do as teenagers, not listen to the grown-ups. I did the DARE program and a lot more, and I wondered, wow, none of them heard what the grown-ups said. Are they idiots? And I'm a grown-up, and I'm like, wow, they're still the same emotionally immature idiots, except for now I have an answer, therapy, and I can't tell them that because the therapist told me you can't. They have to be the ones to notice that their maladaptive patterns of behavior are creating a lot of stuff, and the adaptive child part is a losing strategy. But if they don't care to live a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self, that's the true life of spirituality, by the way. They're just going to follow funny memes who tell them that we are all suffer and pretend to be happy. Well, no, some of us don't, because again, we're self-led with secure, attached, non-traumatized embodiment, because I didn't have attachment wounds to the extent of actually bringing myself to dishonor my promise to Jesus, God, Holy Spirit, and Maria, really, because why would I want to treat you with unkindness and spite if I want you to treat me with kindness and love? I'd be a hypocrite to actually speak 2 words of treat me with kindness, and then I knowingly am doing something without kindness. I'm very linear that way, so it's not logical when I meet the inconsistent, not securely attached, immature, insecure human being, and it doesn't matter how old they are. I keep getting older and older, and I keep having to turn away when I meet older people than I, and they have self-doubt, envy, jealousy, spite, and a bunch more, because I really, really have God consistently chiming in on, Maria, I already taught you. Yes, I heard you the first time. Don't worry. So it's out of the capacity to understand that not one of our brothers or sisters chooses to be born in a body with a household with that nervous system that has a fear of being a person and an anger about being a person and a sadness about being the ruptures. You see what I'm saying? So the people that this making fun of, who says, oh, we're fine, this thing that they think those of us who are happy are toxic positive. So they're talking about any of those who do not take healing seriously because they go to do yoga retreats, they call themselves mystic spiritual, they become a bunch of things. We got therapists who aren't healed either. So when you meet an adaptive child part, you'll notice, because they make it sound like they're the authority on everything, and you'll notice who follows them. They're saying, I just want a world that isn't about what feels right, it's about what is right. black and white thinking. Did anybody not notice there's a rainbow of colors out there of information? Okay, so they are ignoring that they need help, and they turn away from the true healing, because that's exactly how Amy mentions resisting treatment for the body, neuroception. I spotlighted her podcast. And so as they ignore the need to go to therapy, and then they just go to yoga retreats, one, they spread rumors about yoga bringing demons out of you, and then they spread rumors about mindfulness and meditation being bad for you because they didn't understand anything about their own body yet. And they don't accept that they have trauma charges that are unhealed, child parts, and they just don't accept modern day therapists and their explanation. So, when kids don't like what they hear, they're just going to go and create their own little group, and then they separate themselves, and then they become teachers of everything, and you watch them as they flock together like the flat earthers. So, the ones of us who are 5D, we're grounded in reality, 5D mystic, spiritual, mindful, living, loving. Come and join us. It's fun, and become a paid subscriber. You'll support the channel grow. You get some additional mindset exercises, and again, the readings and also the spotlights. Sending love to all of those who are out there in the world, all emotionally mature, all the ones who could use healing. Let's hope they get to a good therapist like Patrick Tian, and then that they come and join us, because it's a bonus to do the spiritual self-help, personal development, mindful lifestyle, and mindset practices and daily living. And if you do need mentorship and you want someone to support you on that lovely personal development, spiritual growth, email me. You can sign up for the workshops and retreats, and you can also inquire about paid content and more than just that. So sign up to subscribe. YouTube podcast is on podcast for Spotify for podcasters or creators. I forget which one it's called, but Spotify, just Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and also TikTok. We're going to have lives, and so we're starting to do some subscription-based model content there too. And Patreon, I'm organizing that. So we'll be back with some more. And again, I'll let you know when the new paid model content will be up. We talked about something yesterday, so I'm missing your 5 and 15 minute. There's a 3-minute sample from yesterday, and that's for any of you who tuned into that one. So we'll be back in a little bit.